People pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth.
Everyone pretend podcasting isn't boring.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Where do you think we should go?
Wherever.
Let's just enjoy every second of getting the heck out of Ludlow!
The hell is that? First place I learned about death was a pet cemetery. The secret place. Generation to generation, dead things buried in that land would come back. There's something else.
Can you hear them?
Voices. I think something's wrong with Timmy.
He needs time to adjust.
The people built the pet cemetery to protect them from evil. That's not Timmy. Something's talking through him.
Hell, what have you done? We have to find Timmy. And stop this.
I held him the day he came into this world, and I'm gonna hold him the day he goes out.
Believe me when I say sometimes dead is better.
Hey folks, welcome to a special episode of The Projection Booth. I'm your host, Mike White. On this episode, I am talking with director Lindsey Anderson Beer. She is the director of the Pet Sematary prequel, Pet Sematary Bloodlines, which is premiering on Paramount Plus October 6th, 2023. Had a great time talking with her, and I hope you have a great time listening to the interview. Now, is this your directing debut?
It is, yeah.
Wow. How did you make that transition? I mean, because you're also credited as a writer, and I know you've done a ton of writing already.
I had always wanted to direct. I came to LA to write direct and found that it was very difficult for people to trust me to direct. So I needed to earn some credibility and some good relationships. And so I did a lot of writing. And then during that had helped the producers, Mark and Lorenzo, out a bunch on Transformers. And we had developed a really good working relationship through that. And so when they were making this prequel, they knew that I was looking to direct stuff and looking at material at the time. And Mark Varadian called me and said, would you ever be interested in directing a Pet Cemetery prequel? And I said, that was my favorite King book growing up. So fuck yeah.
Were you more of a fan of the book or the movie?
The book. And I did really like the 89 movie too, but I read the book first. And I feel like whatever order you see or watch something in, it becomes your first love, right? So yeah, I loved the book.
So how did you approach the movie? Because this is a prequel, and I wasn't aware that we needed a prequel until I saw it.
That's my hope, is that it is the prequel that people didn't know that they needed. I approached it as, I feel like the films are all great. They stand alone. They stand on their own. I was not looking to make a prequel to any one movie. I just wanted to make a prequel to the book. So my approach was to reread the book and pull out any interesting detail or mythology or anything that I felt like went unanswered and kind of try to tie it into a bow to give us more of a history, both of Judd, but more importantly, almost of Ludlow and the origins of Ludlow and where this evil comes from and how it is that we get to, mysterious Judd smoking on a porch and keeping watch.
How was it working with actors? Because you've got a great cast in here.
Oh, they were phenomenal. Each and every one of them brought something so special to the screen, and the cast of the older actors were, just dream casting that I went to as my first choices, and was fortunate enough that they all said yes and went on this crazy journey with me. And the younger actors was a very extensive process of watching tapes. So many really talented young actors raised their hands for these roles, and they were all impressive in their own right, but the ones that I ended up with just they were just right for me.
Can you tell me a little bit about your crew? Because you've got a great look to this film as well.
The look is something that I talked about in my very first meeting with Paramount, and I said, I don't want this to be like a washed out blue kind of horror film that we've seen before. And I talked about how in the book, Stephen King talks a lot about the evil with yellow eyes and yellow mist, and how this color of yellow really, really permeates the book. And how, to me, like, yellow is so highly associated with the late 60s and the early 70s and hippie culture and sunflowers. And it just got me thinking about like bright sunny days in Maine and this kind of pastoral innocence and beauty, and contrasting that with the darkness of what's actually happening and happened in this town, to me was really visually interesting as a filmmaker, but also to me lined up with the themes of Pet Sematary and kind of the darkness and light of life, and those two things, and the beauty and the torture and the tragedy that makes Pet Sematary such an interesting and unique property.
When did you actually shoot this?
2 years ago in Montreal, very much in the middle of the Delta wave.
Oh boy.
And I won't say who, because I won't talk about people's health, but one of our actors got COVID 10 days before shooting. And so we weren't sure if we were going to get them in the film. And then just like literally the day they were supposed to fly in, they started testing negative. So,
oh boy,
that was a lot of stress. The main challenge was really the schedule. We had the same schedule as the 2019 film, which if you've seen that, it's like only a couple locations, a couple actors. Our film has so many locations and actors and big set pieces. And so every day was just really a crazy logistical challenge for everybody. I have to give so much credit to everybody involved. We were just really excited by what we were making, and everybody came to work every day just excited to meet the challenge and to do the impossible. And every day it really did feel like we were pulling off the impossible. We're kind of high-fiving ourselves at the end, like, how the fuck did we just film all that today? It was pretty incredible.
Can you tell me about the post-production process? How was that for you? And did you get a long time to work on it?
Yeah, the post process was awesome. I love post. I love editing. You find your story within the story. And then I also, as I'm sure you could tell watching the film, so much of the film sound design is very, very important to the movie. And it's something I talked about from the very beginning. And I got my composer and my sound editor in the same meeting. And I said, you guys are going to have to get to know each other really well, because I don't really see a lot of traditional score in this movie. I kind of even want the score to sound like sound design. The post process is where a lot of that came to life, and where I got to really play with the stuff that I had been talking about since felt like forever. And so that was really fun. And then I think the most unexpected thing to me was how much I loved the DI, like that you kind of, it's almost like its own separate art from the rest of the movie. Like you get to paint over your own movie, and there's so much you can add in the shadows and the highlights. And I've never felt like a bigger nerd than loving every second of the DI.
Looking at your IMDb profile, you have so many things in the hopper right now. Yeah. What's true? What are you actually working on next?
So my biggest priority right now is Sleepy Hollow for Paramount, which I'm writing and directing. And I turned in the first draft right before the writer's strike. So now that, hallelujah, the strike is over, and I'm going to be able to return to Sleepy Hollow. So that's exciting for me.
Lindsey, thank you so much for your time. This was great talking with you.
So great to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time.
Under the October with the steamboats, ancient goblins and wallows come at the grand light making a sound. The smell of death is all around. And at night when the cold wind blows, no one cares, nobody knows. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. Fall addicted to the sacred place. This ain't a dream, I can't escape. Molars and fangs, the clicking of bones. Spirits moaning among the tombstones. And at night when the moon is bright, someone cries, something ain't right. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. The moon is full, the air is still. All of a sudden, I feel a chill. Victor is grinning, flesh is riding away. Skeleton dance, I curse these days. And at night when the wolves cry out, listen close and you can hear me shout. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to live my life. Not again. Oh no. Oh, I don't want to live my life. Not again. Oh no, no, no. Don't want to